Okay, so today we're gonna be switch adapting this Star Wars Mandalorian, the child, Baby Yoda. I already opened up the box. Always good practice, good protocol to test to make sure that the toy itself works out of the box as is, because once we open it up, the warranty is null, and we want to make sure that before we make any changes to it, that the toy itself is out of the box working. So Baby Yoda came with batteries inside, and the way that he works is if you squeeze him, he makes cooing noises. So this toy is working. And what we'll do is on the back of Baby Yoda, there's a little Velcro. And the speaker is right here. So we're just going to be adapting the speaker. And we'll let Baby Yoda sit right here. What you'll need for this modification is inline headphone jack. I'm going to cut this in half actually. Or cut the wire here because this was an old battery interrupter. Inline jack, the toy. We're gonna need 2 different size Phillips head. The outside screw for this and the inside screw is a little slightly different size. Wire cutter, wire stripper, soldering iron, soldering equipment, solder, and a little bit of electrical tape, I believe. So we're gonna first open up the outside. Take that out, and then set that aside in the bowl. There's 2 screws right here. Open that up too to expose the circuitry. Those screws out. I'm gonna put this top back on because as I'm making adaptations, I want to make sure that Baby Yoda is gonna continue to work. So battery stays in place. This is the switch that it comes with. If you press it down right here, this rubber pad, you can take it off or leave it in. I'm gonna take it off. Just so that it's not pressing on it. I want to make sure that only our jack or our switch tester is truly making the connection. So on here, we're gonna be soldering to a surface mount board. There's gonna be 2 points right above where the rubbery switch came off of. There's a point that says LCK, and then down at the bottom, right by these 2 big solder globs, which are the battery, I think the legs of the battery holders. But to the right of here where it says B++, there's a dot here. So I discovered the trick is to heat up the surface mount pad, but you're gonna have to do this pretty quickly and efficiently. Let's make sure that that's a good view. So we're gonna heat up the pad and feed it a little bit of solder, and we're gonna do that so that we create a good solder point for the wire when we solder it onto the points. Let's start with the B++ point right here. So heat up the pad and then feed the solder to it. That'll do. Heat up the LCK pad now, and then feed the solder to it. So now we're gonna take the inline jack, add the 2 wires to the inline jack. Strip it. before we solder it, I'm gonna test it to make sure that those points are, the solder points are gonna work well. So press it down and then touch those 2 points. Try to do it with one. Yep. That'll work. The other thing is that we want to actually feed the wire through. We're gonna need a longer wire, so pause while we do that. So we're gonna want to solder to these 2 points and then feed it out of the speaker with enough length to go into the doll and then out of it. So I'm imagining maybe 4 or 5 inches at least. One end I'm gonna make shorter because it's gonna go into the surface mount, tiny little glob of solder. The other side I'm gonna connect it to the inline jack. So it's gonna be longer. So luckily the speaker actually has a little bit of a, I don't know why they put this hole, but thank you, Hasbro, for giving us this hole so I don't have to drill a hole. So we're gonna feed that through. These springs. I'm gonna safely put it in the bowl so I don't lose it. Okay. One line goes. Place the wire, the exposed wire on top, heat it up. See if it melts. Lift the soldering iron. Let that cool down. Take the other wire. Place it on top of the, this is gonna be the B++. I actually don't know if that's the point, but B++ is right next to it, so melt that, heat that up, and then let it go, let that cool down. Cool. And what I'm actually gonna do is put some electrical tape. Because we're placing it on top of a surface mount point, I actually just want to make sure I reinforce everything. This is not necessary. But just in case. Oh, test every step of the way. The spring back. This in. Let's test again. Do have to unscrew the very outside cap to expose the other 2. Okay. Details again. All right. Take off. Guess we didn't need it that long. Yeah, guess we didn't need it that long. I guess we can cut it. Heat the destination. So with soldering, you heat where the solder is going and then feed the solder through. Pull away the solder, the iron. This is a tinning sponge. Side. Heat the destination. Feed the solder through. Fell apart. It's so tempting not to bend the wires into each other. It's not the best practice because you create pressure points where it's more likely for your wires to break. Or maybe just a little. Or you can use a helping hand to hold it in place, sort of. Okay. Let's test that out with the switch. Alright, so since these two exposed solder points are so close together, I'm gonna wrap it up so that they don't short each other out. This one too. And because it bothers me that there's just two colors, I'm just gonna wrap it all up in electrical tape so that it looks neat. Because the other thing about creating switch adapted toys for kids with disabilities or a kid who might want them, you don't want to modify it in such a way that it looks secondhand or that it's been damaged or messed with. So if it all looks one color, that's good. So this gets stuffed back. It looks like a baby when it has a tail. That's okay. Not really. Oh. Do it this way, sort of in the middle, sticking out. Now you can't even tell that Yoda's been modified. Plug it up.